Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello, everybody. How are you? Our today's lesson is grammar on page 70. It's entitled Passive Modals. Today, we will learn how to change an active sentence that includes modal verbs into passive. So our main aim is using passive modals. Here, I ask you here to identify the modal verb. It's important to identify the modal verbs to be able to change them into passive. So here, number one, Ahmed can drive the car quickly. Here, my question, what is the modal verb here? The modal verb is can. So can is a modal verb. Number two, the room will be cleaned by here. The room will be cleaned by here. So what is the modal verb here? The modal verb is will. Will is a modal verb. Number three, the bill must be paid. The bill must be paid. I asked you to identify the modal verb. The modal verb here is must. Must is a modal verb. So here, what are modal verbs? It's important to know what the modal verbs are. The modal verbs are will, would, can, could, shall, should, may, might, and must. Today, we will learn how to change them into passive, from active voice into passive one. Now, Ahmed will clean the car. Ahmed will clean the car. This sentence is an active voice, or is an active sentences. Why? Because it started with the subject. After that, the modal verb, then verb one, and the object, subject, modal verb, infinitive, and the object. So, Ahmed is the subject, will is modal verb, clean is the main verb, and the car is an object. It's an active sentences, not passive one. Today, we will learn how to change it into passive. Okay, first, if I want to change it into passive, I will start with the object to be a new subject. So I will start with the car. Then modal verb. The modal verb here is will plus be. I will say the car will be. Next, clean. I will change it into the past participle, the third form. It will be clean. And at the end, I will use the preposition by, and at the end, the subject to be a new object. So I will say, the car will be cleaned by Ahmed. So Ahmed will clean the car is active, and the car will be cleaned by Ahmed is passive. We use passive if we don't know the subject, or we want to disappear it for him. So let's move. They can speak English. They can speak English. Here I ask you to change it into passive. So as I said before, I will start with the object to be a new subject. After that, the modal verb plus be, and the past participle or the third form of the verb. Then by and the object. Okay. So I will say, I will start with English. English can be spoken by them. English can be spoken by them. So the rule that you can use to change modal verbs into passive is start with the object to be a new subject, use the modal verb plus be, and past participle, then you can use by plus subject to be a new object. English can be spoken by them. Here I ask you to choose the correct answer. Number one, my car is fixed by the mechanic. It's fixing, will be fixed, fixed. Here, my car is an object that became a new subject. And here in the sentence, the preposition by, then the subject that became a new object. So I'm sure it's passive. So I will choose will be fixed. Why? Because well is a modal verb plus be plus past participle. That is the formation of passive. Spoken must be spaced by you. Stopped, stop, stops. There is a modal verb plus be, and it's in passive. I will choose past participle stopped. Number 3, the computer space both by M. May is, or may be. It's passive, so I will choose maybe. Next, I ask you to change into passive. You will have some sentences that are inactive, and I ask you to change them into passive. Number 1, he will write ministries. He will write ministries. So he is a subject, will is a modal verb, write is infinitive, and ministries is the object. What should I do? I will start with the object to be a new subject. I will say ministries. And will plus be will be. And the past participle of write, the third form of write, it will be written. Ministries will be written by him. And I can say ministries will be written only. Number 2, they may study Arabic tomorrow. Again, they may study Arabic tomorrow. This sentence is inactive. I ask you to change it into passive. Okay, it's important to decide the object, to identify the object. The object here is Arabic, so I will start with that. Then I will use the modal verb may, Arabic may, plus be, may be, and the third form of study, it will be studied. Arabic may be studied by them tomorrow. Again, Arabic may be studied by them tomorrow. The last question, Faisal should take a taxi. Faisal should take a taxi. Here, what is the object here? The object is a taxi. What is the modal verb? The modal verb is should. So I will say a taxi should. Should what? Should be. Modal verb plus be. And the third form of take, it will be taken. Take, took, taken. Take, took, taken. So I will say a taxi should be taken. A taxi should be taken. You can say a taxi should be taken by Faisal. So today, I explained how to change modal verbs from active into passive, and we know the formation of this role. See you next time. Thanks for your great part. Thanks for your listening. See you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.